We have breaking news this hour from the Justice Department. A former top-ranking official within the FBI's New York Counterintelligence Office has been arrested over alleged ties with a Russian oligarch and a Putin ally, and trying to allegedly help that oligarch evade U.S. sanctions on Russia. This is an incredible story. The Russian was himself arrested back in 2021 for his work on behalf of the Kremlin. And joining me now, NBC investigative correspondent Tom Winter and NBC Justice and Intelligence correspondent Ken Delaney. And so, Ken, what can you tell us about Charles McGonigal, who is the retired agent in question here, and about another case filed in Washington back in October of 2021?
Charles McGonigal, Andrea, was an FBI agent for more than 2 decades. He had some very important jobs. He was the head of the task force investigating WikiLeaks, for example. He ultimately became head of counterintelligence in the New York City office, which is a big spy-catching job. His job was to protect the United States from foreign influence. But what the U.S. government is charging him with today is participating in foreign influence in 2 separate cases. One in that case you mentioned about helping Russian oligarch Oleg Deripaska after he left the FBI. But this other case out of Washington, D.C. charges that he accepted $225,000 in cash from a former Albanian intelligence official while he was serving in the FBI as a top counterintelligence agent. And the indictment says that he failed to disclose that income on his financial disclosures, essentially hid a conflict of interest. At one point, he made this same person a confidential FBI source, so he allowed this to influence, they're saying, his FBI work. This is a huge, huge black eye for the FBI. It's essentially a case of they're alleging corruption here. We have not heard from McGonigal or his attorneys today. He was arrested over the weekend on a flight back from the Middle East, Andrea.
Ken, it's just an extraordinary story. Tom Winter's here with me, and to both of you. We just showed some video that was taken in October of 2021. Let me give you the context there. That is a mansion on Embassy Row. And that mansion on 30th Street in Embassy Row was raided by the FBI. That was owned by family of Oleg Deripaska. And it's extraordinary. When we saw that all going down, and we were the first to get there on the scene, Tom, you know, this was a very expensive house on Embassy Row, right under the eyes of everyone in Washington, that Oleg Deripaska, who had alleged ties with people very closely connected to the Trump campaign.
Exactly right, Andrea. I remember getting your phone call that morning saying the FBI's at a Deripaska house. What's going on? And so we were able to confirm that they were searching that. At the time, we haven't heard any details from federal prosecutors or the FBI since. His own representatives, that's Deripaska's representatives, said, well, this was an investigation tied to sanctions violations. So we don't know whether it was tied specifically to the McGonigal matter that's been charged here in New York today, or it has something to do with anything else. This is somebody who's no stranger to the FBI, particularly the FBI field office, and certainly to McGonigal. This is somebody who's been under FBI investigation in some way, shape, or form since the mid-2010s. This is somebody whose visas were denied multiple times by U.S. officials, according to our prior reporting, most of it with Ken, because it was based on the fact that he has significant ties, they believe, to Russian organized crime. This is somebody who defines the term Russian oligarch, according to U.S. officials. In his past, in the early 1990s, he's somebody who, along with several other businessmen, basically were competing in what were called the metal wars. They were literal wars. People died over control of former Russian state-owned businesses in the aluminum industry, for instance, which is what became Deripaska's kind of chief business, which up until about 6-7 years ago, he was the #1 aluminum smelter and aluminum company in the world. So that should just give you a sense of the size and scope of Rusal, his company. So this is somebody who's been well on the FBI's radar, somebody who McGonigal absolutely, in the court documents here alleged today, absolutely knew what he was about, his background, what the FBI knew about him. And one of the things that I think makes this so concerning is, one, Deripaska has been circling around, and this is based on 8 years of reporting on this. This is an individual who works the way that a lot of oligarchs do. They seek to create influence and favor. They don't know anything beyond what worked for them in Russia. This is somebody who's close to Vladimir Putin. The last time we saw him was at a Putin kind of a press event to discuss the Ukrainian invasion. And so this is somebody who is just knows his world of paying people to get things done. And what they say that he was doing on behalf of Deripaska was investigating a rival oligarch. And of course, he would have known how to do that. So Given Deripaska's ties to U.S. politics, he had significant business ties and, in fact, at one point sued former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort and Rick Gates. They did business together. This is somebody who's known his way around Washington, literally and figuratively, for quite some time, Andrea.
Ken, let me just posit something here. Isn't it within the realm of possibility that the government, that the feds are squeezing Deripaska, and that's how they got to McGonigal?
It absolutely is, Andrea. Clearly, they have other evidence, this whole separate case involving the Albanians. But yeah, you got to believe that that's certainly a possibility here. You know, we've known that McGonigal has been under investigation for some many months, and that it was very serious and it involved a counterintelligence matter. But these revelations today are absolutely shocking on both counts, both that he took money allegedly while an FBI official, and then he tried to help this Russian oligarch that Tom explained so well after leaving the FBI, Andrea.
And stand by a second, Ken. Tom, do you have something to add to that?
Yeah, I think, it's certainly possible that is the many times that the FBI has tried to, or actually on several occasions spoken to Deripaska, that he could have helped in this investigation. It could have been, in fact, McGonigal's own work to get a daughter of a suspected Russian intelligence agent on the NYPD as an intern in statements she made to an NYPD sergeant that really could have first tipped off the FBI and NYPD that maybe McGonigal was up to no good here.
As they say, the plot thickens. Ken, another story breaking this hour. Richard Barnett, the man arrested in the January 6th attacks, who famously put his feet on then Speaker Nancy Pelosi's desk, has been found guilty on all 8 counts. What can you tell us?
Convicted on all 8 counts, Andrea. He testified in his own defense, not very successfully. He did apologize and say he regretted being in the Capitol that day, but he kind of wilted under cross-examination, didn't really speak well for himself, and now he's facing significant prison time, Andrea.
Well, Tom and Ken on all fronts, as always, thank you.